bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the Mizuno Hyperwarp Pro. This is the third shoe in the Mizuno Hyperwarp franchise, $250. Above it, you have the Elite at $275, and on the top, you have the Pure at $300. So today, I'm gonna let you know if this is the one to get, how it stacks up to those other Mizuno shoes, and also how it stacks up to everything else in the Carbon County segment. So if you're looking for a new race shoe, you're in the right place, and an even better place would be the Supple app. So the Supple app is my app, and it's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace for running shoes. Here's how it works. Somebody gets a shoe like this, or maybe they have a shoe in their closet, like the Vaporfly 2, that they're not gonna use, and they sell it on the app for well below MSRP and pass along a deal to another hobby jogger. So if you like saving money, or you wanna be part of the best community of hobby joggers, racking and stacking mileage, getting after it daily, appreciating Mizuno reviews, get in with us and enjoy today's video. Have you ever woken up and just immediately been punched in the face? Has that ever happened to you? That's what happened to me this morning, man. I was in a nice, deep, peaceful slumber about 6:26 a.m., just enjoying some great recovery sleep after this marathon. You know, the week leading up into a marathon, you're stressed. Your body's not necessarily stressed because the mileage is lower, but your brain is stressed. There's a lot of anxiety going into a race, especially if you're going for a big time goal. So the week after a marathon for me, it's always chill. It's always relaxed. I'm catching up on sleep. I usually get a great sleep score. Charlie also had an iPhone terrorism this morning. She woke up early, but she left her phone in the bedroom. Just absolute wild behavior, as the kids say. Just wild. She left her phone in the bedroom, but woke up early and left the alarm on the phone. So I was woken up first at 5:30 or something with her alarm, just some super grating sound going off. Then she came back in and apologized. But then an hour later, she comes in again, 6:26 a.m., and says a tree fell. So we go and check it out, and it turns out an entire tree in my backyard, which I later learned from Bob over at Piedmont Trees. He's an arborist. He also rolled up in a Prius listening to Many Men by 50 Cent. It was not the vibe I was expecting. I learned later it was a silver maple. But this entire tree in our backyard, one of these beautiful trees, fell. So that was my morning, and we got the quote and everything. And of course, this is a multiple racks situation, as is everything if you're a homeowner. My advice, if you're a kid, if you are under the age of 23 years old, don't buy a house. Don't become a homeowner. Don't turn 30 years old, get married and have kids, but just live in New York and stay renting, I guess. I don't know. Don't become a homeowner because it will just drain every single dollar you have, and also just drains a lot of energy. So that was my morning. I just woke up and got punched in the face. What a beautiful day. It actually is a beautiful day, though. I have to adjust the lighting on here because it's such a beautiful day. I don't have that X5 money to just be fixing trees everywhere. Anyway, Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro. No, this is not the Wave Rebellion Pro. Mizuno Hyperwarp Pro. What the heck is this thing called? Mizuno, yeah, I got it right. Mizuno Hyperwarp Pro. So I've run in the two other Mizuno shoes that were released in this trifecta of Carbon County racers, the Pure and the Elite. So the Pure sits at the top, $300. I'm not even going to go grab them because it's just going to confuse you. They all look the same, but just trust me. The Pure, lightest weight, sits at the top, $300, 100% PIBA, $275. Below that is the Elite. That's dual foam, soft PIBA on the top, firmer TPEE on the bottom, designed to have some modicum of impact protection and stability with that firmer bottom foam. And then this bottom shoe right here would be the replacement for the Wave Rebellion Pro, which is why you're having Pro in the name. It's the Hyperwarp Pro. And one of the things I was thinking about that I really wish I asked Mizuno, does the warp play off of the Wave Rebellion Pro, because Wave Rebellion Pro is WRP, or is that just a coinky-dink? I don't know. But the new the new Hyperwarp is the next iteration of these. You can think of it. So Wave Rebellion Pro 2, I've been calling this the most underrated race shoe of all time. I really think it is, man. It is so fast and aggressive. It feels very much like the Nike Alpha Fly with the 4-foot rocker here and how aggressively it pops you along. Great bounce. The two foams Mizuno has here are awesome. And then the trademark of the Wave Rebellion Pro series, or the Wave Rebellion series in general, because the Flash has this too, is the aggressive heel bevel. So in this franchise of shoes, Mizuno has been innovating with the heel bevel. So look at this, aggressive heel geometry in the Wave Rebellion Pro 2. This came out in 2024, I believe, beginning of 2024. Then they quickly followed up with this guy, and you can see it's even more aggressive in the heel here, just wild. Wave Rebellion Pro 3 Beta. And then they went in a more restrained direction and offered this alternative here, Wave Rebellion Pro 3 Low. So you can see it still has the heel bevel here, but it's in a lower formulation, not as wild and crazy. So this was the evolution of the Wave Rebellion Pro series. There was a 1, which I didn't try, Wave Rebellion Pro OG, but this has always been about the aggressive rocker, what they call the smooth speed assist. It's always been about getting you up on the midfoot and the forefoot, giving you that pop and giving you that really high cushion feel. So the Pro in the Hyperwarp Elite series is the one that is maintaining the characteristics of these shoes. The Pure, which is sitting at the top, that's a totally new experience. Soft, light, bouncy, Vaporfly type of shoe. The Elite, that's more of a Metaspeed type of shoe. And this one is the true Mizuno shoe. This is the one that is classic Mizuno. So with that, I'm really excited to take this out for some miles this morning. This is going to be my first carbon shoe since the marathon. And the thing about this shoe as well is it's actually not, even though it's a $250 race shoe, it's not designed to be the most aggressive. So if you look at these first two shoes here, the Pro 2 and the Pro 3 Beta, very aggressive. They really put you up on the midfoot and the forefoot. And I actually should go grab the Pure and the Elite. I think I need to for the purposes of this demonstration. I was trying not to because it's going to confuse you when I have those shoes. But what I want to illustrate here, difference between the Pro 2 and the Pro 3 Beta. So the first Wave Rebellion Pro 3s, very aggressive. And then what they did with the Low, they offered a more approachable alternative. And this is going to be what carries through with the new one and what sets the new one, the Pro Hyperwarp, apart from the Elite and the Pure. So let me go grab the Elite and the Pure to show you what I'm talking about. Got a tree removals expense worth of Mizuno out here. All right, so this is the Pure, $300, and again, please don't get confused. Just look at this, Pure, $300 in the back. This is the softest Mizuno race shoe, the softest in this lineup, and also probably the softest Mizuno ever. Very fun, very fast. I do have to say with this thing, it completely beat up my legs, man. I was trashed after running in this. I don't know if it's something about the soft and light foam. It's just not as protective, but I felt way more trashed running in this than the Fast R3. It is very fast, though. But if you look at the back here, Mizuno has shifted from innovating and changing the back geometry to the front. The back of this, it just looks like a normal training shoe. There's nothing special about the back geometry here. Contrasted with, look at this, the Pro 3 Beta, super aggressive. So they've gone with having the Pro 3 Beta being their top racer and having the elements that they're innovating be tall stack and back geometry to now race to the bottom. Let's just make these shoes as light as possible. And then the Elite, this one is in the middle. You still do have that nice rocker in the front, but again, no aggressive back geometry here, and it's the blend of foam, so soft and light on the top and the slightly firmer, more stability-oriented ones on the bottom here. So these are the two shoes now in the Mizuno lineup, the Pure and the Elite, that are designed to be more aggressive, and the Hyperwarp Pro is designed to carry on the more stability and approachable legacy of the Wave Rebellion Pro Low. So with that, let us take this thing out of the box. I hope that was helpful to you. And it's always hard when brands have multiple shoes in their lineup that are for the same type of a run. So these are all race shoes. ASICS does the same thing with the Metaspeeds. They release them in the same colorway, which makes it confusing, but I think the reason brands do that is so you're not choosing a shoe based on which color you like better. You're choosing a shoe based on which one is best for you, because if they release the Metaspeed Edge in green and the Metaspeed Sky in purple, you would just choose the purple one if you're a fan of purple. Meanwhile, the green one might be the one that works better for you. So that's the reason why they do it this way. At least that's what I think. Anyway, let's take this guy out of the box. It's probably going to look the same exact as the other two. Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. Yep. By the way, I also did an overview, so I saw this, but I forgot what it looked like. So let's see. Minor differences here. So in the first two here, the pure $300 right here, and the Elite, they have this really glittery stripe on the front that goes from the front to about 80% on the back. With the Pro, they don't have that. It's just a bottom layer. Okay, so that's how you can tell with this. You have the bottom layer, and then what we've just been talking about here, they are retaining that heel bevel. So look at that. Heel bevel in the back. It looks even gentler. I think that's my favorite word, gentler. It looks even gentler than the Pro 3 Low heel bevel. That angle. I don't know if that's just a trick. I'm sure Mizuno has some information on this somewhere, but not very aggressive. If we just do the eye test here, let's see. Pretty similar. Yeah, pretty similar when we have these up and down here. But, I mean, if you compare it to the Pro 3 Beta, I mean, that thing is just crazy. That's a funky, chunky monkey right there. Look how aggressively that thing angles in the back. So what you're getting out of this guy is 100% of that firmer TPEE base foam. So all the way over here, this is actually, let's put it over here. Cheapest on the left, Hyperwarp Pro, 100% of the firmer foam, most stability oriented. All the way on the right over here, $300, soft and light. Pure, this is the one that I was saying it kind of beat me up, but it's very soft, very light and fast. And then in the middle would be the combination of the two. So on the right, 100% PIBA. On the left, 100% supercritical TPEE. And then in the middle, you have the blend of both. So with that, not just the geometry in the Pro, but the foam itself is designed to give a more supportive feel. Pushing it in here, it doesn't feel super firm or anything, and it does feel like a slight revision of the Pro 3 Low foam. I'm not sure. It could just be a trick, though. And you can see the sculpting on the midsole is slightly different, and the pattern and texture on the midsole is slightly different. But by and large, designed to keep the spirit of the Pro 3 Low. There's a lot of aesthetic changes here. And what else here? Oh, upper. They put a more comfortable upper on it. That's nice. Look at that padding around the back of the upper. They actually have that on all the shoes, which is nice. I did find the Pure and the Elite to fit snug, so we'll see how the Pro does. Hopefully that's not the case, because again, with the Pro, they're designing this to be that Adios Pro 3 replacement type of shoe, the stability shoe, the shoe that's going to be a good option for 3.5-hour marathoners versus 2.5 and below hour marathoners. This is not the shoe that Mizuno's elite athletes are racing in. They told me actually, yeah, our elites are racing in the Elite and the Pure, the $300 soft and light one. They're not racing in this. So this is more of the hobby jogger shoe. This is more of the long run shoe, the tempo training shoe, and the shoe for people who are going to be 90 plus minutes or 90 minutes in the half marathon, or 3 hours in the marathon. So with that, what I am excited to see out of this shoe, how is the comfort? How does it feel for some slower pace miles? So I'm just getting back into it today. Like I was just saying, I'm 6 days off a marathon. I'm not going to be doing anything too aggressive this morning. The plan is actually to do some hill repeats. I was thinking this would be the perfect shoe for that. Not super fast or anything, but just see how this does with some pace, see how it does with some time on feet. It won't be super long. And then how is the comfort? How does it feel at those more relaxed miles? So with that, let us get some specs, and then we can lace it up. I might have to change my advice from earlier, man. I think the reality is you need to figure out a way to not graduate from college. Now, you want to pass all your classes. You want to try hard in school. You want to do well. Academics is a big part of becoming an adult and just going through that gauntlet and learning and growing, but just don't graduate from college. Figure out a way to pass all your classes, but just stay in college. That would be my advice to you. Similar to how if you're 29 or 39, figure out a way to stay at those ages, to not become 30, or 40. That's my advice. Don't graduate. Just stay in college forever. All right. Mizuno Hyperwarp Pro. So, as I was saying, and we got a slug putting in work. By the way, the arborist who was out here this morning, Bob, he said slug mating season is something to keep an eye out for. He said the two slugs become one. And he said he was a nature freak. So if you see slugs mating in your area, let me know. Let me know what you think of it, I guess. So the Hyperwarp Pro, this is supposed to be a stability race shoe. I brought out a few others that are designed to do that, and we can compare them. So Hoka Rocket X3, not my personal favorite, but this is hard. This is what I was talking about with the Mag Max the other day. This is not a shoe that's necessarily designed for me. However, there are good and bad and average shoes in each category. I have nothing against a stability racer, and there are some stable racers that I've really liked. This one just felt limiting to me, and the forefoot experience, the toe off, just did not hit. It felt gummy with this plate, like I couldn't drive through and really pop off the front. It was just okay. It was really just okay. Not my personal favorite. I know a lot of people do like this, but this one comes in at 227 grams. Solid option, definitely not bad. And if stability is your number one criteria for picking a race shoe, you're not going to hate this thing. So next up here, my favorite of these more stable racers. The shoe's so nice, I bought it twice. Blue Ice, and they're coming out with the next generation of this very soon, and I just bought this, so maybe I'll have to do a giveaway on the Subwell app or something, but this is around 200 grams. Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Great foam in here, bouncy, fun. You also get the scales going ham, dude. What, you okay, bro? What? That was... All right, well, it's fluctuating all around the same weight. Let's just stop it. Oh, that. Oh, the batteries were askance. Okay, hopefully this fixes it. Yeah, I still think this is the best one in the category. If you're looking for a stable race shoe, the foam is just so good. It's a similar compound to what's in the Fast R3. You get the Puma grip on the bottom. It definitely favors a midfoot to heel strike, not the most for aggressively forefoot striking, but if you're looking for a stability race shoe, the implication is that you're going to be using the back of the platform more, and you're going to be needing some guidance in the back to help that overpronation or whatever the weaknesses might be. So this is my top recommendation. Still, we'll see if the Hyperwarp Pro can dethrone it. And then another one that people like, this is the Asics Metaspeed Edge. You have the firmer foam on the bottom, softer foam on the top. I was more of a fan of the Sky. This is the one that people say theoretically is more stable. I don't know. I didn't love the feeling of the big chunky firm foam in the heel on this. Just felt like I was fighting against it at some points. But I really actually liked this shoe when I was landing on the front and not using the back at all. So it's just one of those weird things that these shoes feel different based on how you're using them. But this is going to be the lightest one, 171 grams. The thing with this shoe, though, yes, it's the most stable Asics race shoe, or the Super Blast or Mega Blast would be more stable, but if we're looking at true carbon, however, it's just such an aggressive platform, very lightweight, the upper is not the most comfortable, so sometimes when we're thinking about, I want a stable race shoe, or I want a 4-hour marathon shoe, if you're going to be spending 4 hours out there on the run, it's likely that you want something with the comfort as well, not just, okay, the back of it feels planted. So with this one would not be my top recommendation because the overall platform is very aggressive. And now I know people do run 3.5 and 4-hour marathons in this, but if I'm personally going out there for a 4-hour long run, I'm not choosing one of the Metaspeed shoes. All right, Hyperwarp Pro against the category. Let us see. Look at that. Very in line. I think it's a little touch heavier than the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. That one came in around 200. This is 213. So what is that, 5%? Yeah, 5% heavier than that. Probably not going to be noticeable on foot. Decently lighter than the Hoka Rocket X3. It's a lot heavier than the Metaspeed. But again, you got to think about those trade-offs of comfort versus aggression. Now, if we compare it to the last generation of the Mizuno Warp or Wave Rebellion Pro shoes, The Pro 3 Beta, 237 grams. That's on the heavier side, even for its time, but you got so much foam. I was actually surprised that the Pro 3 low here was not significantly lighter because the heel in the midfoot was so much lower, but this was only 8 grams lighter at 229, so you can see they have reduced the weight significantly from the Pro 3 low to the Hyperwarp Pro. Now, one more thing we can compare it to just before we go here, the top tier Mizuno race shoe, the lightest one out there. And by the way, I know the scale's kind of wonky today, but if there's any variation, it's only going to be about a gram or two. But yeah, this one, 150 grams, very light in the Hyperwarp Pure. And then the Elite, this is in the middle, very close to those Metaspeed shoes, 184 grams. So still in the fat part of the bell curve, the Hyperwarp Pro, near the heavier end of the spectrum. But if it actually is a stable and protective option, great for time on feet, great for when we're feeling beat up, then it's going to be worth its weight in stack. One thing that was clear to me with the running event is these brands are really trying to figure out how to connect and cater to what they call the dedicated runners or the everyday athletes, the hobby joggers, right? The people, if you're watching this video, brands are really trying to figure out how to connect with us and what are the products that are going to reach us. It was super clear when I was talking to Mizuno. They're putting a big effort in that, and that's why you see this shoe. And also On was another brand that, man, they're really trying to do a better job reaching the everyday athlete. So people who aren't running sub 2:15 marathons, but also who are running 5-6 times a week and who take their training seriously. So that's what this shoe is designed to do. It's designed for everyone out there who loves running, who loves stacking mileage, and who loves watching this video. And we will see how it stacks up to a lot of these other shoes. But speaking of stack, we got a lot of stack in the back, 45 millimeters in the heel. Now, because you have this aggressive heel bevel, some of that might be air. Let's see if we can get a midfoot stack on this, because this is where the biggest chunk of foam is in these Mizuno shoes, right here in the midfoot. See if we can get above 50 right here. Ooh, no, 45. Okay, so pretty consistent right here, flat through the midfoot and the heel. So you get 40 in the back and then bumps out to 45. And then you get this nice rocker in the front here. That is significantly lower than the last generations of these. I mean, we can just measure it from the outside. Look at this. The outside of the last Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro 3 Low at the highest point was about 60. So they have shaved it down here. Let's see, compared to the Pro 3 Low. And this was very much a sleeper shoe. There's a few people who picked it up and liked it, but never really got that adoption. And that's what Mizuno has struggled with. They really need to make a push somehow to get more people trying these shoes because the products are good. Let me see if I can get it midfoot. Yeah, products are good. People just aren't trying them as much. All right, look at that. Very similar. 43.9 in the old one. So keeping a lot of the elements from the Pro 3 Low. Let us lace this thing up and see how it does out there on the roads. Lacing up the Hyperwarp Pro. Great name, by the way. Hyperwarp, what a great name for a race shoe franchise. Sounds fast, sounds aggressive, sounds experimental. Banger name choice. So yeah, let's see on the fit and feel here. I don't know. Still feels a touch low volume. Also, interestingly, because this is supposed to be the slightly more stable, approachable shoe, but on step in here, I am immediately getting that midfoot bump. It just feels like I'm stepping on a tennis ball as soon as I lace these up. Very Cielo, both the OG and the 2, and very classic Mizuno as well, with how much foam you're getting in the midfoot. So it's funny to me that they're positioning this as the more stable, approachable one when you still have that heel bevel. But that's just the thing. That's the classic Mizuno thing. But I do think, man, even though they have the heel bevel, it does feel slightly more normal in the back because it's lower. It's not so much like the Pro 3 standard. It has that Pro 3 Pro 3 low cut where the angle is just way less aggressive. So take a look at the back here. As I'm standing flat, yeah, you can see just not as much of an aggressive clip. All right, let's do a walk test. So yeah, fit true to size, if a touch low volume, and stability and weirdness in the heel is actually not too bad. Very comfortable fit in the back, by the way. It's more, so this is the thing about the heel cut. Sometimes it can feel like you're leaning back on the heel and it's rolling you far back. With this one, it just feels like there's something in the midfoot. It doesn't feel like there's not enough in the back. It almost feels like there's too much in the midfoot. I'm guessing this is going to be a nice thing once we start actually running because it will push us forward. But standing, very odd sensation to have that bump in the midfoot. Now, foam feel, Goldilocks. Not too soft, not too firm, just enough squish and give. It feels like it's going to come alive with some pace. So plan for this run, 8 to 10 miles, some longer hill repeats, so 2 to 3 minutes of moderate effort up the hill. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going half marathon, not even marathon pace, just slightly higher effort up the hill. Get some strength going, get some turnover going, hopefully shake out the last little bit of these marathon legs. The thing is, it actually takes about 4 weeks to fully get the marathon out, but first slight session of intensity back. By the way, I think these look fantastic. I went with the white socks with this colorway. It's a movie. It's a movie. All right, let's do this thing. Alrighty, we are back to the good old GoPro today because my other camera, the Insta360, died. And that is the one thing with that new camera. It's not the battery life, it's me. It's a user error. It's happened a few times now where I think I've turned it off and I haven't. So back to the GoPro today. By the way, fit check. White hobby jogger hat. I'm in a t-shirt because it's a little warmer. Sore shirt. Got the Regina George shorts on. The Courier socks. And of course the Mizuno kicks. Oh gosh, the wind is whipping. All right, early overreaction here. Very solid. Slightly on the firm side, but not bad. Feels extremely protective. I can definitely feel that midfoot bump, but like I was saying, it just pushes me farther up the platform. This one definitely has less snap and aggression off the forefoot than the Pure and the Elite. It doesn't feel as special to me so far as those two other shoes. Bit more workmanlike.
but protection feels like it's gonna be top notch. It's just a different vibe, right? There's definitely more Rocket X than it is Fast R3. But unlike the Rocket X, the aggressive geometry gives it more of an aggressive feel. It's an interesting one for sure. Mile 1, 7:24. So far, this is my least favorite of the three. I'm missing some of the pop and fun of those other two shoes, the Pure and the Elite. Yeah, this one is just so far firmer and not as exciting as I would have hoped. Also, I'm getting some heel slip in the back. It's like the mid-foot bump combined with the higher off the ground feel in the back. It's putting pressure on the middle, and then the heel is slipping. I noticed it a little bit when I was tying my shoes, but I didn't think much of it. If it's still going at mile 2, I'll do a retie. I know it's early, but this one feels like it might be the miss in the lineup with the three. The Pure was so good. The Elite, the Pure, by the way, felt really fresh and different versus the other top tier race shoes because it's soft and light while being very aggressive. And then the Elite, that's giving the Metaspeed shoes a run for their money. This one, I'm just not sure. It goes back to the question of, for whom is this the most optimal? Because they're trying to make a more approachable shoe, but you still have that heel bevel. And once you land on this the right way though, it does just keep you going. So I don't know, maybe this is just to assuage fans of the Wave Rebellion line. Because a lot of people were asking me with the Elite if the Wave Rebellion were staying. Man, this geometry just gets you going. Yeah, this is the fastest I've gone since the race. I don't think this is a 4-hour marathon shoe though. This is a strong sub 3:45. But yeah, it has that grip and rip of the Wave Rebellion. Just grips the ground with that rubber, and the geometry pulls you forward. Man, if you're watching this right now and you still need to get Christmas gifts, stop watching this video, bro. Or actually, with YouTube, you can do that swipe up thing. You can still watch my video and shop. You might need to start paying for express shipping at this point. But you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You pay for the express shipping. Don't be a clown. Because if you've gotten to this point and you are married, you need to stay married. And it's not about how much money you spend, it's about not messing things up. If you need some recs, here are some recs. Okay? Free people. Bangers. Bangers all around. You can't miss with any of their stuff. Free people. A little boho chic style. It's fire. Williams Sonoma, if you need any houseware. Can be on the pricier side. Good kitchen stuff. Fast shipping. If that's out of your budget, just go to a local Home Goods or World Market for in-person. But if we're talking online, Williams Sonoma, and then Ulta, little body care action, makeup, lotions, self-care products, things of that nature. Ulta, don't do Sephora. Sephora, their website is janky. It's terrible. I was trying to check out with some stuff on Sephora. I tried to put in my card details 5 or 6 times. I tried Apple Pay, and nothing was working. And you think, oh, it's Sephora. It's a big name. They got their stuff on lock. No, it was terrible. So Ulta. And Ulta, they even have a same day delivery option. So if you're watching this, you might be balling out on some Ulta to save Christmas. And then if you're a true sicko, of course the big shoe brands like Hoka, Nike, you can still get some gifts there. You're just gonna have to do express shipping. I think that's enough free game for today. I know if you're watching this Mizuno video, you're both employed and married, so good job for you. You just gotta stay married and stay employed. People who watch Mizuno reviews, high class individuals, man. Just great guys all around. People who care about craftsmanship. People who care about others around them. Erudite individuals. Renaissance men. So good job to you, man. Watching a Mizuno review, you're a good gentleman. A great chap. You're doing excellent things with your life. Great use of your time. The Venn diagram of Mizuno review watchers and great people is not even a Venn diagram. It's just one circle. It's a big old circle. And you could pretend the circle, bird's eye view from above, is just 1,000 people. Different cultures, different backgrounds, one thing in common. High mileage mindset. Just love mileage, love their spouse, husband or wife, love their children, love being good citizens, just holding hands. It's not about political affiliation. It's not about politics or policy. It's about one thing: mileage. That's the bond that unites us all and unites the people watching Mizuno videos. Just great people, man. It just puts a smile on my face. It's not about skin color, creed, sexual orientation, salary, tax bracket, where you work, where you live. It's about a love of mileage and being a good person. That's what unites everybody watching this video right now. Just good people, man. High class, high caliber, morally sound individuals watching Mizuno videos. Let's go. Man, shout out to all my good people. Nay, great people watching this video. Man, a lot of people these days try to make it about your zip code, where you live, who did you vote for, what's your gender identity. That's not what it's about. It's about holding hands, getting mileage, and watching Mizuno videos. Those are my people. Ms/Zuno lover. That's how I identify. Let's go. You can get my Instagram account deactivated, but you can't cancel my love for reviewing Mizuno shoes. Even if it's not my favorite Mizuno shoe, it's my love for reviewing them. For all the passionate people out there, just ethical, really ethical group of people out there watching this video right now. The type of people, you don't need a religion or fear of going to jail to make good decisions, because you're ethical. You have a moral compass because you're watching this Mizuno video. Let's go. All my good Mizuno watchers out there, let's go. And here's the thing, billions of people in the world, but only about 1.5K to 3.1K who fall into this esteemed, revered, and highly respected group of people, the Mizuno watchers of the world. Some people are watching pockets, some pocket watchers out there. Others are watching CNN, or maybe they're watching Fox. No, you're watching Mizuno. And that's why I love you. It's a select group of individuals. It's not even about whether the shoe is good or bad. It's not about the density of the polymer or the angle of the rocker. It's not about the height of the stack or how many grams the digital scale tells us. It's not about the padding and the tongue or the coverage of the rubber. It's not even about how aggressive the heel bevel is. It's about caring about those things from a Mizuno shoe. That's what unites us all. Americans, Australians, Europeans, Japanese, Chinese, Africans, Brazilians, Filipinos, Portuguese, Vietnamese. One thing in common, caring about the specifications and quality level of Mizuno products. Mizuno 2028, baby, let's go. Let justice roll down like water, and righteousness like a flowing stream. Let midsoles roll through like water, and big stack heights like a rolling stream. Let midsoles roll with aggressive rockers and supercritical foams like a flowing stream. Mile 4, 6:49. These are my fastest miles since the marathon. Pretty tired, dude. I don't know about these hill repeats. Might keep them short. Something like 5 by 1 minute. Was initially thinking 6 by 3 minutes. That sounds way too hard. Just way too hard. 5 by 1 minute. Very nice. Very nice. There's only one MAGA that I support, and that's the Mizuno Appreciation Group Association. That's my MAGA. So you have 4 and some change in here on these Mizunos. Very similar vibe to all those other Wave Rebellion shoes I brought out. Midfoot bump, and then the forefoot absolutely comes alive with some pace. I still prefer the other two better, but this is a very solid revision to the Wave Rebellion format. Just again, that question for me, for whom is this most optimal? There's lots of shoes out there. Who would I recommend this to above any other racer? So I'm moving pretty good in these. I think the wind is kind of bad today. I apologize. See if I can block the front wind. And yeah, protective bounce with the aggressive geometry still there. That was my fastest mile since Saturday. 6:23 pace. Yeah, I'm gonna do these 5 by 1 minute reps up the hill here, and we'll be done. You know the song So Appalled by Kanye? That Jay-Z verse, that's the energy I'm bringing to 2026. That's the, if you have more song recommendations with that exact energy, send them my way. That's how we're coming, man. I'm so appalled. I'm fresher than you all. All right, let's go. First minute. These should not be painful today. Just a controlled push. All right, first minute, 5:51. So just about marathon effort. No pace target at all. I wasn't even looking at the pace on the watch. Yeah, that Jay-Z verse is just crazy. So is the tone and the way he's accenting the ah sound. I'm so appalled. Just sounds like he's spitting venom. He's just so disgusted with everybody who's listening. And then the actual lyrical content says he lost $30 million and he had to get his financial goals focused because MC Hammer went broke. Then he says, unlike Hammer, 30 million can't hurt me. Jay-Z just has the best flex bars. Best of all time at those flex bars. All right, let's go. Number 2. Smooth and controlled. Tactical destruction today. That was rep 2, 5:37 pace. So this is the maintenance principle right now. I don't need a lot of strength in hill work to maintain the fitness. So just touching it here 1 week after the race to keep it in check. Just maintaining. Once you've built a fitness factor, you can do a lot less to maintain it than you had to do to earn it. But the way you earn it is the blood, sweat, and mileage. A lot of people don't know about that one, man. Mizuno watchers do. Shout out to the Mizuno Appreciation Group Association. Number 3. Nice and easy, light and quick. Don't need to put a whole lot of power down. 5:31 pace on that one. Nice and controlled. I'm so appalled. So appalled, man. I just get disgusted when I think about the disrespect, man. 242 was my disaster. That was my disaster. Boys talking about get a coach, man. 242 was my disaster. You guys talking about get a coach. Never even ran a marathon. I'm so appalled. I'm appalled, man. Number 4. Out here running hills. 6 days after a 232, man. 456. Stop it. Stop playing with me, man. A lot of people playing, but stop it. Stop it. 5:15 pace on the uphill. Let's go. Chipping away now, man. Chipping away. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Chipping away. Chipping away. Off season, man. Don't get me started about the off season. I know a lot of guys, they either just took an off season or in the off season right now. Man, it makes me sick. Don't talk to me about an off season. A lot of these low mileage boys want to take an off season. Yeah, you hire a coach. Coach is gonna tell you take an off season. You go to the gym, do some strength training, pick up some 10-pound dumbbells, do some curls, take an off season, enjoy the holiday. It makes me sick. I'm nauseous just thinking about it, man. We got 2 minutes and 17 seconds to take off the marathon. Let's go. No off season. No off season. Ha. Ha. Woo. 5:04 pace. Let's go. Nice progression there. Working. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. 2 minutes and 17 seconds, man. Don't talk to me about an off season. Don't do that. Don't do that. A lot of guys want to take an off season when they didn't hit their goal. Who are you? Look in the mirror. If you didn't hit your goal, don't take an off season, man. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. We gotta get these shots up, man. We gotta get these shots up. Those are the tree removal guys at my house. I don't see the Bills taking an off season. I don't see the mortgage taking an off season. Why are you taking an off season, bro? Talking about recharge, man. You're not an iPhone. You don't need a recharge. Talking about recharge. Sickening. no off season.
All right, man. Morning workout in the books. In the Mizuno Hyperwarp Pro, chipping away like a tree removal service. You like that? You like that? Yeah, it's just chipping away. We got to just keep chipping away now. There was no big gains for me this year. Kind of a disappointing year of running. I was thinking about it. I would rank my year or rate my year a 7 out of 10. I think the lowest you can go if you don't get injured is a 5. If you're injured and solidly consistent, that's a 5. Or sorry, not injured and solid and consistent, that's a 5. Charlotte half bumped it up to a 6. That was a good race. And then the Kiowa bumped it up to a 7, but didn't accomplish any of my big goals. So we're just chipping away, man. Not every year, this is the other thing I was thinking, not every year can be a 10 out of 10. If you could string together 5 straight 7 out of 10 years, the progression will be crazy. And that's what I've managed to do. I haven't gotten injured. I've just been solid, consistent. I took a big leap last year in terms of the marathon time, and that's the disappointing part this year. I didn't get the marathon time I wanted, but every year I've just been solid progression. I'm about to run the same number of miles as last year. You can't really run much more than 5,000 miles in a year. But yeah, running the volume, increasing the volume over time, getting more specific with the training, and that's the frontier for me. Next frontier next year, just getting way more specific and then just increasing the actual speed. But chipping away. This was a great shoe for the first workout back, by the way, post-marathon. Shout out to all my Mizuno appreciators out there. 8.66, so 8 miles, 6,600, 6:47 pace. Not bad. Down in the 6s, just less than a week after the race. Efficiency, excellent. 105%. Look at that. What was my heart rate? It's got to be low 150s with that. Yeah, 150 heart rate. Bang, man. So just chipping away, solid. And what made this such a great shoe for today? It's fun, it's protective, and it's bouncy. And I don't want something 6 days after a marathon that's going to completely destroy my legs. I don't want to lace up the Fast R3 or the Mizuno Pure. So this was great in terms of the protection and the cushion. And then when I was cranking it up on the hill, it was fun and bouncy. So great shoe. Mizuno Hyperwarp Pro. Again, I absolutely love this name, Hyper and Warp. And it's really hard to clear names. Did you know that? It's hard to come up with names that actually will clear from a legal standpoint. So I'm a bit surprised that they were able to name the shoe Hyper when On already has the Cloud Monster Hyper, but good for them. Their legal team did a nice job, and their product team also did a nice job because this is a great shoe. Let's throw up the run from today. Now, goal from this run, 8 miles. I said 8 to 10 miles. I ended the hill repeats at around 8.4, so I decided not to be a hero. 8 miles, I got some steadier to moderate pace there. I think I was into the 640s and 650s for a lot of it, and then hill repeats 5 by 1 minute. I was actually going to do 5 by or 6 by 3 minutes or 6 by 2 minutes, but the idea of doing that just sounded no fun. It sounded horrible and unpleasant, so I decided just to, and the tree guys, they parked right in front of my Jeep, and I have to go to Reevesy's school after this, so hopefully they'll be able to move, because that's not good. But yeah, I decided to take it easy today, lower the volume, keep some of the intensity, and that's the thing I was saying out here, maintenance principle. So once you've earned a fitness factor through that blood, sweat, and mileage, it's a lot easier to hold on to it. You have to do less to maintain than you do to win or to earn, to get it in the first place. It's a lot more work to get something than it is to keep it. And that's a good way to think about a lot of things in life, right? Sometimes the CEO of a company isn't the hardest worker. But to get there, you have to work anyway. Hyperwarp Pro, good qualities of the shoe, highly protective, man. That's the great thing about this foam. So the main difference between this, or one of the main differences between this and the other two Mizuno race shoes, is the foam. The Pure is 100% of the soft foam. This is 100% of the firm foam, and the Elite is a combination. So with that, very protective, nice and easy on the legs. When I ran in the Pure, the $300 most aggressive one, the soft and light one, my legs were destroyed. I'm telling you, destroyed, way more beat up than when I'd ran in the Fast R3. And it wasn't like I was doing a 5K workout or a mile race pace workout. I was doing a tempo, a threshold to marathon pace tempo, which I've run a ton, 5:30 pace, 5:40 pace, and my legs were rocked. With this thing, not at all. It feels so easy to run in this, very protective, nice and easy on the legs. I think this might be one of the better long run training, long run tempo, and threshold shoes out there now for me. Very similar to that Alpha Fly thing where you get a lot of cushion, but then the geometry is really aggressive and pushes you along. And that's something that the Wave Rebellion Pro series has always done really well too. So the Wave Rebellion Pro 3 Beta, the Zebra one, I did 2 separate 20-mile long runs in that shoe. And I also did 2 separate 20-mile long run videos that got no views because nobody cares about Mizuno. I don't typically do more than 1 long run in a shoe unless it's really good. So this franchise of shoes for me has always been very good for the long run, lots of assistance, and it maintains that higher stack feel without, kicker here, without feeling too gimmicky. I think in the past, this shoe with that big midfoot bump, especially the Pro 3 Beta with the zebra pattern, it could feel a bit gimmicky. This is not gimmicky. Now, one of the downsides of this shoe, it does take some work getting used to the platform. It's not a totally comfortable feel having the additional stack in the midfoot. And the thing that I noticed with this is the heel doesn't feel weird. The heel feels normal. The heel actually feels like a normal running shoe. And if you just look at it from the back, from this angle, it doesn't look strange at all. What's the weird feeling and why it's not super unstable is the midfoot. The midfoot is the weird part. So it's almost like if you shave down this midfoot, it wouldn't be weird at all. But that midfoot bump is what pushes you forward, and it's also what gives you that additional launch pad. So when I was out there, and the steady pace was good, moderate pace was good, but when I was out there really tearing up that hill, so if we look at the splits, I did a nice progression. I think I went down from 550 to 515, just 1 minute surges up the hill just to get reacquainted with some speed and some strength work. But at those paces and with that form, with the mechanics required for me to run in the mid 5s, this thing felt so good, man. So peppy on the front while still remaining protective and highly cushioned. So that's what I love about this shoe. It's the blend of the protective cushion with the speed. Now, it's not going to be for everyone, and I think where this shoe is a question mark for me is for whom is it the best? If you're going to get one race shoe, who should buy this as their one race shoe? And that's where some of these shoes that are good but maybe not transcendent kind of fall into this no man's land for me. So with this, I think the clear answer to who should buy this, if you liked the past versions of this, you will love this. It's just a lighter version of all the Wave Rebellion Pro shoes. They didn't mess it up. It has very similar feel, that forefoot pop and pep. They've even kept the rubber layout pretty consistent. It has this very grippy tooth feeling in the front. So if you like the Wave Rebellion Pro 2, the 3, or the low, you will love this. It doesn't feel like a huge departure, actually. And I only did one run in the Pro 3 low, but feels very similar to that. The lightweight is nice, very easy to turn over. And I think that's one of the benefits that's going to come through as you go up the hill. But other than that, if you're not a huge Mizuno fan, who should buy it? Strong midfoot runners, strong forefoot runners. There's just a lot of competitive options out there. So let me just go through the good qualities. Upper is fantastic. You get a really nice amount of padding around the back here. By the way, I did have some weird issues in the beginning, mile 1 to 2. I felt like I was getting some heel slip, but as I got into the run, it didn't bother me at all. I actually said if it's still bothering me at mile 2, I'm going to do a retie, and then I completely forgot about it by mile 2, and it wasn't bothering me at all. So upper is nice. Fit is nice. It doesn't feel sloppy, but it also doesn't feel too tight. Slightly on the lower volume side of average or normal. So if you have a higher volume foot, probably not going to be the pick, but it just fits like a normal race shoe. So if you can fit in a performance fit, this will be great. Other good things, the foam right in that Goldilocks zone, not too soft, not too firm. So I think that's also something that could attract
more people. Some of the shoes out there can feel too soft and squishy, like the Endorphin Elite 2. And then some of them can feel either too firm or too aggressive, like the Fast R3. That's not necessarily a firm shoe, but it's a very aggressive shoe. This does strike a nice balance in the middle, and even the Elite of Mizuno goes more to the aggressive camp. Now, some of the turnoffs to people might be the geometry and also just the fact that it's an untested quantity. But at this point, man, I think we have to stop saying Mizuno's an untested quantity, because they have so many solid shoes in their lineup, so many good shoes that hit, and this is another one of them. It's just, what are you looking for out of your race shoe? So let's break it down. 3 questions we always ask and answer in these first round reviews. First, how does this shoe compare to its intended purpose? Now, the number one differentiator between this and the other Mizuno shoes, where does it say it? Smooth speed assist. So this rocker and the aggressive geometry. And with that, it does a nice job giving you that assistance through the stride. Oh man, I'm fighting the trees now. I'm fighting the tree, guys. There's also a vulture eating a roadkill squirrel. Some days you're the squirrel, some days you're the vulture. I think I'm the squirrel today. Yeah, really nice job giving you assistance through the stride. This is designed to be a longer run training shoe, a marathon shoe for some people, and it does a nice job at that in terms of the intended purpose. Both the Elite and the Pure, to me, felt best at those faster paces. This one feels a lot more comfortable and at home for me at marathon pace and slower. So that is the thing about this shoe. If you are I'm gonna say sub 3:30 marathoner to 3-hour marathoner, this could be the optimal race shoe for you. You're just gonna have to take a flyer on it and trust me at that, because yeah, the Fast R3 is the fastest, but for me, I don't love taking that past 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then the other 2 Mizuno shoes, those felt a lot better when I was getting down to 5:20, 5:30. This one feels more at home to marathon pace. So for hobby joggers, as a marathon shoe, as an assisted shoe, feels great. Also as a long run shoe, could be a fun option if you're gonna spend more money on getting a shoe for those types of training runs. Now, question number 2, how does this compare to everything else on the market? If we look at the specs, very competitive, 213 grams for about 45 millimeters of stack at the widest point, very protective. So that's the thing to remember. And when we think about hobby jogger, the show must go on. When we think about hobby jogger race shoes, and shoes that are good for people spending a long time out there on the roads for a race, we can either think about stability, we can think about protection, and we can also think about people maybe being more athletic or bigger runners. So this is a very protective shoe. It's not gonna bottom out, and the density of this foam does a nice job protecting the legs and the body. I don't feel as beat up in this as the other Mizuno shoes, but also, I'm just gonna shout, also feels a lot more protective than the Metaspeed shoes with the FF Leap. The FF Leap can get pretty soft and I can feel the carbon. With this one, you're not gonna feel the carbon. It is in there and it's stiff, but because this foam is a higher density compound, it does a nice job isolating the impacts from the carbon. You get the pop and you get the forward roll assistance from the carbon, but you don't get any of that harshness underfoot. So firmer, denser, yes, but not aggressive and harsh when it comes to the carbon. Now, question number 3, how does this compare to everything else on the market? Most certainly a carbon race shoe. I would say it's in the middle of the spectrum in terms of aggression. It's not as comfortable as an SC Elite V5. It's not as relaxed as something like the Rocket X3 or even the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Somewhere in the middle, right? In between a Deviate Nitro Elite 3 and a Fast R3. So if that's what you're looking for, if you want some additional aggression versus the most approachable race shoes, but you don't want to go all the way to Fast R3 land, then this could be a good pick. $250. That feels fair to me. It's a really nice foam. I will be doing more testing on this, hopefully. I mean, for the Mizuno Appreciation Group Association. I just know that not a lot of people really watch these reviews, but I'll probably do a 20-mile long run. And for me, that's what I'm most excited to do with this shoe. A 20-mile long run with some marathon pace repeats. That's where this feels like it's gonna be the perfect shoe for me. Am I gonna race in this? No, because I'm not racing in anything other than the Fast Start 3. Am I gonna take this for a 5K paced workout? Probably not. The two things I think this is gonna be great for, what we did today, hill repeats and then marathon pace repeats and tempos. And if your marathon pace is 6s or 7s, this is gonna be a lovely shoe for that marathon pace training as well. So I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. This is an A minus. It's a really excellent shoe. There's a lot of excellent carbon shoes out there. It's just about what are you looking for in a shoe. I was initially skeptical that there would be a place for the third Mizuno shoe in their lineup, but it very much feels like that tried and true Wave Rebellion Pro format that has done a great job in the past. It's just hasn't gotten the most acceptance in the broader market, but everyone who's tried that shoe has pretty much loved it. I don't think I've heard any negative feedback really from people who've actually given the Wave Rebellion Pro franchise a shot. So I could recommend this. If we start seeing some sales on it, even better. You could also pick up the last versions, the Wave Rebellion Pro 3, highly discounted right now. So I would probably go ahead and do that over this. Where you're gonna get some more benefit for this is the lightweight though. So this is more of a viable race shoe, especially if you're getting down to 3-hour marathons and faster just because of the lightweight. So that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Low mileage boys broke playing Uno. I'm in the streets talking about Mizuno. My wife looks like a goddess, Juno. Send a boy to Mars, Bruno.